Y'all, so why I'm reading Jubilees, and I remember talking to y'all in a video. I don't know, I did so many videos, and I might speak on something a little bit in a video, but I remember, just through my journey and me doing research about this calendar and stuff, and all the questions. This is what I'm saying. When you ask, you will receive. When you ask, like everything I ask God, every single thing I ask my Father, that's why I'm saying, like, there is no love like this. Like, I'm really a spoiled brat. Y'all don't mind. This is why I always got my hat on, because I don't be feeling like doing this wig down, y'all. My hair going back. I want to get some braids or something, y'all. But anyhow, let me stay focused. I definitely think I got ADHD. Y'all don't know how hard it is for me to get through reading. Like, for one, reading is boring for real, but I really need the information. So I read because I need the information that's in books. Y'all know they say you want to keep something from a Black person, put it in a book, because we'll never pick it up and read and understand. And so I'm reading Jubilees, and Jubilees is basically Genesis. I feel like it really was supposed to be Jubilees instead of Genesis, because Jubilees has so much more detail to Genesis. And you know how if you're reading the Bible, you can see how, like, it just skip over stuff. Like, when I was first reading Genesis, it was just like, it talked about Adam and Eve a little bit, but it didn't go in depth to, like, I'm like, I know there's more. So I have those books too, the first and second book of Adam and Eve. So it gives more of a background of their life. It gives a more synopsis of what really, the story of their life, of the in depth that the Bible doesn't give. And even in Jubilees, see, Jubilees doesn't go into all details about that, but that's what the book of Adam and Eve is about. I got that book upstairs. Like, I got so many books that I still have a couple more that I need to order. I need to order the Cave of Treasures, because they talk about the Cave of Treasures so much in the book of Adam and Eve. And the Cave of Treasures is where God sent them, when he sent them out of the garden. And also, this is like amazing, you guys. But I wanted to talk about these dates, because I said that the enemy will come in and switch up one thing. He has literally taken God's creation and manipulated it. He's taken everything that God set for us and manipulated it. Like I was saying, I was researching I think I said in one of the videos before, but it's not supposed to be 12 months. January and February are fake months. They're fake months. It's supposed to only be 10 months, not 12 months. Because as I'm reading Jubilee, it breaks all of this down, because I ask these questions. I'm so curious. This is what started me with a lot of this. Like, I question everything. I question every single thing. Because at one point, I'm like, everything is just made up. Like, time is fake, days are fake, like, all this crap is fake. So I'm like, where did they even come up with how we get our calendars? Where did the 7 days of the week come from? Where did 24 hours come from? How did they get this stuff in place? But they got it from the book. Like, they got it from the book. God orchestrated all of this. But as I'm reading here, so it says, and they placed them on heavenly tablets. Well, I'm jumping over a little bit, but this is where the seasons come from, because each season, we have 4 seasons. And I guess this is why they have like 4 quarters. So I gotta research that too, because remember, we have 4 quarters in a year. So I wonder if it's the seasons I'm gonna do more research on that. But it says they placed them on heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks, from one to another, their memorial, from the first to the second, from the second to the third, from the third to the fourth. And all the days of the command will be 52 weeks of days. So 52 weeks is how many weeks is in 1 year. So So far, that's right. They haven't manipulated that because it is 52 weeks in a year. So that part is right. But, so it says that all the days of the command will be 52 weeks of days, and these will make the entire year complete. Thus, it is engraved and ordained to the heavenly tablets, and there is no neglecting this command for a single year or from year to year, and command the sons of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days, and these will constitute a complete year, and they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feasts. For everything will fall out in them according to their testimony, and they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they neglect and do not observe them according to his command, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged. Ooh, see, I didn't even read this part yet. And the years will be dislodged from this order, and they will neglect their ordinances. And all the sons of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. Because they make it seem like it's 360. So I'm about to finish reading, but I wanted to stop and say that because it's supposed, they tell us it's 365 days, but it's really 364 days. And mind you, the way the enemy set it up, the way the enemy works, he manipulates what God ordained for us by one. Like, it's usually, like, it's supposed to be 364 days, but he added an extra day. Just like, really, if you look at your calendar, like for Christmas, it'll say Christmas observed on the 26th, and that's Kwanzaa. It's really we're really supposed to celebrate Kwanzaa, not Christmas. And I'm gonna get further into that. I'm gonna get further into everything because one thing about me is I like to tell the stuff and then I like to back it by facts. Because one thing about me, I'm gonna come with the facts. Like, I'm gonna come with the facts. And that's why everything that I say, God lead me to back it up. God told me order this. God is the one that's, the questions that I be having for God, all the answers is not in the Bible. Even though I haven't read all of the Bible, but it be certain pieces, like the way my brain operates, I can just tell when I'm like, I have more questions to things. So the more I question, the more God drop it on me. Like, this is why I say it's other books that he is still directing me to order so that I can have it all. Like, it's tea, it's missing, and everything that I question, he leads me to the book that has the answers. Like, he led me to Jubilee. I need to read Jasher, Enoch. Like, a lot of the questions, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Cave of Treasures. Because I've really been trying to figure out where is the Garden of Eden. Because I know it's something significant about the United States. It's something significant that they don't really want us to know. It's so much like all the tea is in these books. Like, the Bible is all the answers in the world. Like, and I don't understand how so many people read this stuff and cannot connect it to current, present day times, especially when it comes to who we are as Black people. Like, the moment I picked up that book and started reading, I'm like, this sounds like us. This is our life. We are the sons of Israel, which is Jacob. Jacob is Israel. But let me finish reading, because it was significant for us to stay the course and keep these, because it was all about the covenant. That's what I'm saying. God is about covenants, not contracts. The devil is about contracts. And I'm gonna go into this when it comes to this marriage thing and all of that, because that is of the enemy. This is why when you sign contracts, it be so hard to get out of it. A covenant is a verbal agreement, and word is bond. Word is bond. Word in itself is supposed to be bond. You ain't supposed to have to write no contracts out, all these signatures, all of that. That's of the enemy. That's to hold you in bondage. These contracts that we sign for our house, with these cars, it puts us in bondage. God is not about that Contracts. Contracts is of the enemy. Why you think in the entertainment industry, in the music industry, they always have these issues with contracts? You didn't read your contract. Now you just signed yourself up for some stuff you didn't know because you signed a contract, not even reading the contract, not reading the fine print. Or even if you read the fine print, you didn't even understand. You couldn't comprehend what those words mean. This is why reading is fundamental. They say, no, baby. Comprehension. Because if you read a word, this is why it takes me so long to read. Because any word I don't know, I'm doing my lesson plan here, and I have a whole section of definitions, because even things that you think you know, you want to see the actual definition of it. Like, that's what comprehension is all about. It's understanding what those words mean. Understanding. This is why you can hear something all day, but you don't understand it because you don't even understand what that word means. If I say a certain word and you don't know what it means, and then you can't use the context clues for the other words in the sentence to piece together what that word might mean, then you're going to be lost. But let me finish reading. I'll be back. Let me finish reading. But it's supposed to be 364 days in a year, not 365. Just like, and I was looking up the seasons, like, let me look it up on here real quick. Like, some seasons, spring, I believe it said has, how many weeks is in fall? So say 14 weeks. See this leap year mess? It says right here, it says, and there is no neglecting this command for a single year or from year to year. We're not supposed to have no goddamn on leap year. It ain't supposed to be no February to have 28 days. And even with that, it says, because when I was questioning the weeks, I know for a fact, 7 days is 1 week. This is what the book of Jubilee is all about. That's what it mainly is. Because when I tell y'all I'm trying to get down to the nitty gritty of this stuff, I'm gonna bust their ass out if they try to play with me. But when I was reading, because I know for a fact that is because God emphasizes, he has heavy emphasis. And one thing about it, when God wants heavy emphasis on something, he repeats himself. You know, repetition is key. This is what makes it stick. This is how you know it's not a joke. Just like as a parent, and you keep repeating yourself, it's because you mean something. Repetition is key. You want it to stick to your brain. This is why he repeats himself throughout the Bible, saying the same thing. A lot, as I read the different books of the Bible, I'm like, God is saying the same thing. Look how many times in the Bible he said, do not forget what I have done for you, Israel. Do not forget that I freed you out of bondage from the Egyptians. Don't forget what I've done for you. I know I'm like getting chills a little bit because we have it. It's heavy emphasis. That's how he knew how we was going to be. He knows us. He knew exactly what we was going to do. He knew we was going to get free from slavery, and we was going to be cutting the food, start worshiping other gods, idolizing these other gods. He said, put no other gods before me, for I am the Lord your God who freed you from the land of Egypt, who freed you from Pharaoh and the Egyptians. He freed us from slavery. And even with Harriet Tubman, she was spiritual. God led her. God led her. I wonder if she was reading her Bible, like, to figure out the way. Because once you read the Bible and you understand the importance of the rivers, you can escape from anywhere. Like, if you trying to escape from a certain state or all you got to do is take the waterways. The waterways is the tree of life. Like, if you start from the bottom of the United States, because the Mississippi River is the main major river that goes into the Gulf of Mexico. If you start at the Gulf of Mexico, and that's down to Louisiana and New Orleans, if you start down there, you can get all the way up top to Michigan. I think Michigan's was at the top up there. You can get all the way to these places through going through the bodies of water, through going through the rivers. And I'm thinking, like, she definitely was spiritual. She was locked in with God. God led her. God led her like he's leading me. And once I make it out, that's why he wants you to go back and get the rest of them. And of course, you're going to have some people that don't want to listen, don't want to believe, don't want to listen to you. Even though you have made it out, they're scared. They're so stuck, so scared of they're so scared. What y'all scared of? You got to fear God more than you fear the government. You got to fear God more than you fear anybody. Anybody. But let me finish reading. Because he put emphasis on this, and command the sons of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning. 364 days, and these will constitute a complete year. And they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feasts. Yeah, because this is what that first celebration, see it say, because once when God made the covenant with Noah, he says he set his bow in the cloud for a sign of a perpetual covenant, that there should not again be a flood on the earth to destroy it on all the days of the earth. For this reason, it is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets that they should celebrate the celebration of weeks in the month once a year, to renew the covenant every year. This is why we're supposed to celebrate. I don't know which celebration this is. And this whole festival was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation until the days of Noah. 26 jubilees and 5 weeks of years. I'm still trying to figure out what 5 weeks of years is. But a jubilee is 50 years. See, this stuff, and the year of we coming up on the 50th year. Our jubilee year is coming. But let me finish reading, y'all. I'll be back. I'm just sitting here, man. These freaking losers, these satanists, because they are rebels. It's so funny, man, because I'm a rebel to the system. God put this in me, like, and it's so funny. My girl Jordan Journey, she did that video. She said God created you to beat the system. And that's all I'm about. Like, what most people scared to do, I'm not scared to do. And yes, I do believe in beating the system. I don't care what nobody say. These systems was put in place to keep us down, especially us as a color folk, but us overall as humanity. Systems was put in place to keep us down. Even Grant Cardone, you know, he up there. Grant is up there. He's like in the 1%. Even he said, I want to find that video on his page months ago. I know it was within this past time since I've been in Texas, because all this stuff came to the forefront since I've been in Texas. And I only been here since March 2022. But that video that I saw him do, he was like talking about that. He said, you can't beat them, join them. Like, he was talking about the system. Everybody's so scared, even them. Even they beat the system. The whole tax loopholes that Trump and all of them do, they're beating the system. The system, the government is a system. Yes, there's people that operate running the system and further advancing the system. They're demonic, they're satanists, however. They are demonic. And their whole purpose is to go against the enemy's whole objective is to go against God. He's a rebel to whatever God says. If God says if God says the Sabbath day should be Saturday, the enemy makes you guys believe that the Sabbath day is on Sunday, got everybody. And let me read it to you. Let me read it. I was literally about to cry just now reading this, and I'm just so sorry, God. Like, I'm just sorry that, and they didn't lead the people astray, baby. I just can't believe this. Like, why would y'all want to do that to God? It's like, why? He's beautiful. But that's what happens when they're a hater. A hater will see your beautiful soul. They see that what you about, and they just hate on you because they not you. The enemy hates God. This whole thing is about he was hating on God from day one. He was hating because you want his position. People be wanting your position so bad and don't know what it take to be you. Do you know what it takes to have that power to create all of this? And you want to be him? You mad because you can't be him? And then you to convince the other little lames to go along with you. And that's why he kicked you out of heaven, and all your little followers. All the ones who followed you. Went against the grain, following him. But that's his whole plan, is to go against God's way. I'm going to read y'all this. That's what I'm saying. They got everything as lies. Every single thing. You got to question everything. God is just amazing. Like, how could these people want to just go against him like that? But it's because they hate on him. They hate on you because they ain't you. They hate on you because they ain't you. Like, what? But let me read it to y'all. Everything has been switched. Everything is a lie. All these holidays they got people celebrating. We're supposed to celebrate Kwanzaa. If you look at your calendar, let me see if I can pull the calendar up here on my thing here. Memorial Day. It's funny, Memorial Day coming up, and it's talking about, because a part of this whole thing, because it says, and Noah ordained themselves. That's what I'm saying about the new moon. And people be trying to act like God is science. Everything about science. God is science. God is science. I've been saying this since I first read the Bible, when I first read Genesis, when I seen how it said the Spirit of God had moved upon the face of the water. To move to the face of something, you must be living behind it. Like, our spirits live behind our face. This is just the front of our spirit. This is just the veil for our spirit. Our body is just the avatar for our spirit. It's just the host for our spirit. But I was reading here, y'all know I get the jumping around, but it says, and Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they thereby become a memorial to him. And Memorial Day, when is that day? Is what really is Memorial Day? Like a remembrance of the veterans or something? What is Memorial Day? What is Memorial Day? It's a federal holiday in the United States honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who have died while serving the United States Armed Forces. It's observed on the last Monday in May. Right, no, we're supposed to be honoring our forefathers, Noah, who put all of this stuff into place for us. Our forefathers, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac. Memorial Day is supposed to be honoring them, remember them who died while serving for us. They served for us. They paved the way for us. That's who we need. We need a memorial. That's what the memorial is. And this is why it says, and on this account, it says, and on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on this account, he ordained himself for him. He ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever. And thus they are ordained. And they placed them on heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks, from one to another, their memorial. From the first to the second, from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. And all the days of the command will be 52 weeks. And these will make the entire year complete. It's like they copy everything. Like that's what I say. Satan is not original because he's not a creator. This is why he's going to always be number two. This is why he will always bow down to the number one God, which is my God, which is our God, the creator, the Lord God of the Hebrews. Even in, this is why they took this stuff out the book. For every question. Like, science is God. Science is God. I still ain't read it, y'all. Let me read it for y'all. I got, what's 417? Look, 417. Wow. It said, like, it was important for us to follow this. It says, and I read that already. So it says, thus it is engraved and ordained on the heavenly tablets, and there is no neglecting this command for a single year or from year to year, and command the sons of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning. See, Noah's sons ruined everything. that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days, and this will constitute a complete year. And they will not disturb it time from its days and from its feasts, for everything will fall out in them according to their testimony. And they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they neglect and do not observe them according to God's command, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order, and they will neglect their ordinances, and all the sons of Israel will forget, and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons, and seasons, and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. It says, for I know, and from now on will declare it to you, and it is not of my own devising, for the scroll lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feasts of the covenant and walk according to the feasts of the nations. You forget the feast of the covenant. They forgot the covenant, and one because they want to go so busy following the wrong people. You follow the nations versus follow the covenant that God has set for us. And walk according to the feast of the nations after their error and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. Y'all know how y'all say global warming, climate change, everything about the seasons. We be having, you got this going on, snow in Cali where it ain't supposed to be happening at, and you got ice storms coming in Texas and out of nowhere. We had a bad hailstorm a couple weeks ago, literally. I woke up like, what is all that goddamn on noise? Tennis balls of hell was falling onto the cars, damaging the cars outside. I woke up at 2 a.m. I'm like, what the heck is that noise? Like somebody throwing rocks at my window. I remember in high school, my boyfriend used to throw rocks at my window so I could sneak him in. So I was like, who is throwing rocks at my window? I woke up out my sleep like I'm dreaming or something. I heard them loud noises going on. But it say, for this reason, the years will come on them when they will disturb the order and make an abominable day of the testimony. They will make an abominable day, the day of testimony, and an unclean day, a feast day, and they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong as to the months, and Sabbaths, and feasts, and jubilees. For this reason I command and testify to you, that you may testify to them. For after your death, your children will disturb them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. And for this reason, they will go wrong as to the new moons, and seasons, and Sabbaths, and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all of flesh. Because of that, everything has been out of whack. Everything is a lie. I was supposed to be pulling up this calendar for y'all. Everything is out of whack because we did not listen to God. We did not stick to the covenant. Word was not bond for these folk. They did not stand on business. They ain't stand on business. Word is bond. The word is bond. Your word means everything. If you don't stand on your word, you're worthless. You're a piece of crap. If you say something and you don't stand 10 toes down to that, you're a BS. Let's look at this great old calendar here. Let me try to make it bigger for y'all. So, mind you, how he just said, and they will confound all the days. They're going to confuse all the days. Everything is confused. They got y'all thinking that Sunday is the Sabbath day, when Saturday is the Sabbath day. Look at your calendar here. Look at your calendar. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. They never change. This is the right order here. The days here is the right order. So we're looking at the month of December because this is Christmas Day. This is Kwanzaa. Dang, this is not even showing what I wanted to show. If you look on your phone calendar, let me see if I go to, because in another calendar, it'll say, right here, it'll say Christmas Day observed. On the 26th, it'll say Christmas Day observed. We're supposed to be celebrating Kwanzaa, not Christmas. You see how close they are, but like the enemy does, he tricks it up. Look how this repeatedly says 364, but they've added an extra day to our year. They switched out months with February. You got, how on earth is, there is no way, like, you can't say, like, the whole leap year crap, that alone sounds like ludicrous. Like, every day is every day. If none of these calendars exist, every day would be every day. How is 1 year, like, how is 1 year, there is 28 days and the next year is only 29? That's all lies. Like, if we get rid of these systems like Russia about to do to us, everything start from scratch, everybody gonna be like, she ain't gonna know what day it is, because every day is gonna be every day. Every day is gonna be every day. You're gonna know it's a new day because sun up, sun down. When the next sun up comes, that's how you know that's one day. When like God's ordained for it to be. It'll say, man, they done messed up so much stuff, bruh. And it's here. The holy with the unclean, the unclean day with the holy. For they will go wrong as to months and Sabbaths and feasts and Jubilee. Right. Because the Sabbath is supposed to be the 7th day. The Sabbath year is the 7th year. And after 7 Sabbaths, that's the year of Jubilee. That's the year of restoration. That's the year that everything is supposed to be restored to those who have lost. If you lost your land, your property, your things, your items. That's why the year of Jubilee is here. They've confused everything. They switched up everything. Just to spite God, just to confuse his people. Mainly to confuse us. That's why they needed a me. This is why God has, this is why I'm so full of gratitude. And that's why I have to serve. I have to do what God is telling me to do. Period. Because most people not hip to this stuff. Most people don't even get it. That's why he's using me. It's exactly why he's using me. It's in the Bible. And that's why I don't understand, like how, like the pastors, like everybody has been, like the Levites. That's what I said videos back when I was talking about the Hebrew Israelites. If y'all watch some videos about the Israelites, I was going there. Any video that's titled about Black Americans and Hebrew Israelites, because we the real Hebrew Israelites, and the Levites have led our people astray. The Levites are these pastors. They have led our people astray. They have led our people astray. Celebrating Christmas. You know, dang on what we're supposed to be celebrating Kwanzaa. Is it Deuteronomy? It's in either Deuteronomy or Exodus. Because when I first started reading this stuff, and I'm like, well, this is strange. He said we're supposed to celebrate we're supposed to celebrate the Passover. We're supposed to be celebrating that for when he saved all the Israelites. You also get 5 gigabytes. So y'all, I'm adding this in because I'm editing the video. So I did this video like a week ago or so. Probably a little bit over a week now. But I'm about to wrap it up. But I want to just finish off what I was saying about the Passover. Because we know he passed over all the houses that the Israelites in, because he was going to slay all the firstborn sons in each house that wasn't marked with the blood of the lamb. That wasn't marked with the Israelites. Because once Moses freed them... Okay, shh. Let me skip it. I had me to skip that. Because once Moses freed them, and they was standing in the houses after he freed them from Pharaoh and them, and God ordered them to kill a lamb. Like, this is what the whole Passover is. You're supposed to be celebrating. It's basically our freedom from slavery. We're supposed to be celebrating freedom from slavery. How God freed us, and then he killed them all on our behalf. And you know, I wanna See, that's why I gotta study some history, some regular history too, to see what happened after we got free from slavery. Like, how did we celebrate? All this Independence Day, like, we shouldn't even be celebrating that stuff. And now I see why we shouldn't be, because we need to be having our own Independence Day. We need to be, our celebration is supposed to be our freedom. They talking about some day freedom when they got independent as a country. No, we need to be celebrating our freedom from getting free from slavery. That's what we need to be celebrating. Like our ancestors. That's what the Passover was. That's why we're supposed to celebrate it every year, to show gratitude and to do a remembrance of how God saved us and how he smited them on our behalf for what they did to us. Because they was testing his gangster when he was trying to use Moses to free us. They was testing his gangster. He said, all right, this is the last plague. The last plague was him. That's what humbled Pharaoh. That last plague was like, all right, I'm going to kill in the morning. I'm going to kill the firstborn of all the Egyptians. I'm going to kill all of them. And they going to see, they going to feel my wrath. And that's what he did. And that's what he did. That's what we supposed to be celebrating. And they got us celebrating all this BS out here. Like, they know. When I first started reading Exodus, I was like, this sounds like Kwanzaa. Like, he told us the steps, the candlesticks. I said, well, this sounds like Kwanzaa. And nobody really celebrates Kwanzaa like that. And even Malcolm X, when I was doing some research, see, I don't know if I ever posted that video. I don't even know if I still have that video. It was when I was staying in that hotel and I was reading my Bible. Like I said, this spiritual journey, God has led me to my Bible. And when I started reading, when I was in homeless all these months, and I'm reading, I'm like, hold up, bruh. I'm like, so we're supposed to be celebrating Kwanzaa because that's what the candlesticks is. And even Malcolm X, he said that African Americans should be, like, we already know he was a activist for the true things of our community, of our rights, and standing up for our rights. And the thing is, when you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And he even said that African Americans need to celebrate Kwanzaa. That's our holiday. We shouldn't be celebrating that other holiday. And they benefit a lot off of our dollar during those holidays. But it's in, I don't remember, let me see. I don't know, it's even in Deuteronomy, because Exodus is the book that talks about the Passover. Because that's after he freed them and before, so because Leviticus is the rules after he freed them from slavery. These are the rules that you need to set forth before I release you into your promised land. These are the rules, and he emphasized so many things. You know, but this video already long enough, so I'm gonna stop it here. Because I'm gonna be talking about this in other videos. Because this was more so about like the calendar and stuff. But it's what he was teaching us to prepare us for once he released us from slavery. And once we got into our promised land, he was giving us our order of what we need to do, how we need to conquer the land that our enemies is in and take over their land. And that even though we're going to be living in the land amongst them, we should not join in with them. We should not assimilate with them. And that's what we have done. We've assimilated into their likeness, to their practices. This is why we try to do everything like other nations. We're not supposed to do, if another nation doing it, we ain't supposed to. That's why everybody be talking about this whole, man, we will probably talk about that in another video. If they doing it, we ain't supposed to. Flat out, we're not them. Y'all want to be like the white folks so bad. Y'all want to be like every other culture. And y'all don't even know what kind of God that they serve. Y'all don't even know what kind of God they serve. But y'all want to assimilate with them. And we've gotten into slavery and have naturally, of course, assimilated into some of their practices. Man, I got a lot of tea. Right, even she like, man. But I'm about to try to put her to bed, and I'm about to get back to reading my book. Because since I did this video, I've got a lot more. That's why I've been like adding, I've got a lot more revelation about certain things. Like I'm understanding, because they try to make the text confusing too, and it was only more confusing before they transcribed it. And everything with the scrolls, because people be like, well, who wrote the book and all that? It doesn't matter. The angel, like, when you read the book, it's different people speaking all throughout the Bible. Some of the words is from God. Some words is directly from Noah and them themselves. Some of the communication is the angels transcribing. They're communicating and relaying the message from God to Noah and to his sons and stuff. And then, so within that, I forgot what I was going to say, y'all. Oh, and when they would communicate them, they would tell Noah to write on scrolls. This is like, it's a lot of like, and they kept these scrolls in these caves. Like a lot of stuff is in the caves. And when I tell y'all, I am doing the deep digging, and I'm going to figure this out, because America ain't but, like, not even just America. The whole world is not, it's but so big. And I'm starting to question if are we really on, like, like I said in the beginning of this video, everything has been a lie. Everything has been a lie. Everything has been told in reverse. Even it's to the point right now where I don't even know if we really consider the western part of the world, because it's like, how are we considered the western part of the world? Hold on, let me try to pause this. How are we considered the western part of the world if we're to the east of Russia? Like, if you go look at your calendar, if you from Canada, you know, America is connected. Like, America as a whole, North America and South America is connected. Look at your Google Maps. Go on your phone and look at your Google Map. We are connected still to South America. We're connected to Canada. And Canada and Alaska, you can walk right over to Russia through the Bering Strait. You can walk right there. So how does it seem like on our globe, it seems as though we're all the way over here and we cross the Atlantic Ocean? And I really believe this is why when they be saying that we're the Indians, like I'm really just trying to dig to the bottom of this, but I can see how if everything really started over there in the Middle East, and I really do believe a lot of stuff really started over there in the Middle East. But I just got a lot of digging to do, because I know for a fact this was the promised land. This America was the promised land for sure. For sure, that's the promised land. But how are we to the west when we really to the east? We really to the east. We really, Russia's here, we're there. Look at your map. This is why I can't wait to get like my setup, because I need to be able to like how people be putting on the screen so I can teach and pull it up and put it on the screen right here. But I'll probably just add an insert in here or whatever. And you can literally, and when I go, and if you even Google, put on your Google Maps, the Bering Strait, Bering, and then Strait, Strait. Look in those comments. Look in the people who try to cross there, or who, and even talks about in the Bible. Oh my God, it's just so much stuff, because the currents of that waterway right there of crossing over, they say it's like it's the currents are really high sometimes, so it might be, and then it also, I think it either freezes to ice. They say the Bering Strait will turn to ice. So, some people try to get across it, but you can literally, people have pictures, go Google, on your Google Maps. If you have Google Maps, pull up Google Maps and put it in the Bering Strait. People go there and visit as a site. And people have tried to cross over there, and people have crossed over. And to see that you can literally see Russia, you can see the other side right from right from America, because Canada and Alaska, they all part of us. It's all connected. Everything is about land and territory. All the beef between the nations, between our country, and even right now, the war between Russia and Ukraine is all over land. It's all over, I think it's Crimea or one of the sea areas of it, because they wanted the prevalence of being by the water. The whole Bible talks about the importance of the water. You see everything. Moses was found in the water because they lived by the water. Every man pretty much met his wife. Abraham and all of them. Well, I don't know, because his wife was his sister. But the rest of them, like Isaac and all of them, a lot of them met their wife by the well, by the water. And she watered, what made them choose her. When Lot had to go find a wife for Isaac, he chose by the woman that was at the well and the woman that nurtured him and his animals. This is why men be looking for a nurturing woman. But I'm getting off, and I don't want to make the video super long. But it's just so much that has been. That's what I'm saying. This is a lot of digging. It's so much, and they have like flipped and reversed and lied and switched. Excuse me. That's why you gotta question everything. And I'm like, how are we to the west when really we're to the east? Because it's easier to get over there it's easier to get to Russia going through the Bering Strait than it is going through the Atlantic Ocean and then all over on that side. But even with that, I got some more research to do. But if you go look in those comments and to see some of the stuff that people say, I'd be like, right. That's what I'm saying. God will use any and everybody and any and everything to convey and to confirm and to drop a little nugget that I need for me to go look somewhere else to do more research on that. So I got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to be bringing y'all a bunch of tea about this, because we need to know our real history. Because if you don't know your history and if you don't know your rights, then you don't have any, period.